Show. I'm Josh Johnson, joined by my co-host, fellow stand-up comedian Logan Nielsen. Logan, how you doing, buddy?
I'm doing all right, man. How are you?
I'm all right. I had a thing on Sunday. Everything has changed since Sunday.
Everything changed on Sunday?
Yeah.
Define everything.
Well, I woke up. I felt all right, but I woke up and this is going to sound worse than it is because I'm not using the right
I
words.
was covered in blood.
Well, I'm not using the right words to describe it, so it's going to make it sound sad, but it's not sad. I'll explain the whole thing.
Okay.
I woke up on Sunday and I didn't quite like myself. Like I don't hate myself for my life or anything like that.
Right.
But I was like, I don't feel good and I'm tired of not feeling good. And luckily I know just about everything that could make me feel good. Right.
Okay.
So I was like, I need to start taking care of myself. I'm already not I'm not super unhealthy or anything. I try to work out and stuff, but when you know what you should do and you don't do it, and you know it's a thing that is fulfilling, it makes you bummed out.
Yeah.
And I was feeling that all day Sunday. And so I was like, you know what? I'm going to look up just general nutrition stuff. I'm going to look up some nutrition stuff that might make me feel better. Because you know how there's certain things you can even eat naturally that improve mood and stuff like that.
This is your new thing. You've been on this a lot more because you had this when we were in Richmond. When we were there.
Yeah,
you went on a big long. I saw you for 2 minutes, and then you just had a 10-minute rant about the chemicals and the process or the approvals of foods.
Yeah.
So this is this is your new bugaboo a little bit. This is your new
and it's not even
you.
A health food thing. It's just I know there are things that taste good that make me feel bad.
Yeah.
I'm not even becoming vegan.
As he takes a drink of whiskey.
Yeah, it's I'm not becoming vegan. I'm not doing anything drastic. I'm just let me be more mindful of that stuff. Anyway,
right.
I joined a gym. Okay. And just got back into did some light workouts the last few days, and so I feel pretty good.
You joined a gym Sunday? You were just I'm not feeling great. I'm gonna go join a gym.
Yeah, it was a cheap gym.
I mean,
I'm not shelling out money.
I mean, good for you though. That's the hardest thing to do. Is I'm gonna go do that thing then. That's a difficult thing to the next step to take.
I will say though that this is the deceptive part. It's actually. Sadly, that's the easiest part. To just give them the money, I still haven't done anything to improve my life.
Fair. So then, but still, though, you were I should join a gym, and you went and joined a gym.
Yeah, and
I've thought I should join a gym a lot of times. Never done it.
I mean, it's a bit of a trap because you have to remind yourself that you have a gym membership every day, because now it's up to me to not waste the money.
Yeah, true. Yeah, you don't want to lose money on this. Yeah.
And so then the whole reason I brought this up, the last thing that I added that I've never done before in life, but I'm making a point to do it now, is to be fully, when I say fully, I mean like at the scientific limits of fully hydrated, right? I've never even attempted this in my life before, but this is insane. It's
buckle
too
up
much
for another
water.
Adventure, gang. Joshy gets wet. Here we are.
It's so much water, dude. It's
yeah. When you actually make sure you drink the recommended amount, it is a lot.
Well, this is what's actually crazy about it. I don't know if you already knew this, but the amount of water that you should be drinking to lose weight and the amount of water that you should be drinking to build muscle are almost identical, and it's a ton.
Mm-hmm.
And that's mind blowing to me, though.
I mean, I've heard several different amounts of what you should drink in a day, but also it does kind of change depending on what you do in a day a little bit.
Yeah, I checked because here's the thing: I was so scared giving myself water poisoning that I checked every type of way to, do the math on how just on how much I should
Is it
be.
technically called water poisoning?
Yeah.
Okay.
You have so much water that your kidneys don't know what to do with it. So that your kidneys literally just start giving it away.
Because that's what happened. Isn't that what happened to that lady in that radio contest thing? This is like 5 years ago or whatever. Did you remember hearing about this?
No, I don't remember this at all.
It was in like Australia. It was a big story because it was like a morning radio show, and then the competition was like they had people come in. It was to win tickets to something or some shit, and they had them like drink as much water as they could, and then it was like whoever could hold it the longest or whatever, like go into the bathroom, like whoever could hold it the longest, and then like this lady, like her kidneys shut down and she died because of a fucking radio competition.
You would like to think that your bladder isn't more powerful than common sense. Like, I'd like to think my bladder couldn't will me dead.
Right. But I think that's what happened there. I think that was technically what it was.
Well, what ends up happening, so there's a person that I think you and I both know, but just in case this is like giving away something at her job, I don't want to say her name, but she used to give hikes. Like, she used to be the tour. What is it called? It's like she was basically just like the guide for hikes when she lived in Colorado. And I don't know.
Like at a specific park, probably a national park, I'm guessing. Yeah.
And she said that it would be so hot, and there'd be so many warnings about make sure you're hydrated enough, that a lot of people, she basically said once a week someone would drink so much water that they would get sick, and they would think that sickness was dehydration because the symptoms of being overly hydrated and dehydrated are identical.
Right. Yeah.
And so then they would drink so much water that then they got sicker, and then they like passed out, and then they have to be carried down the mountain or whatever. Mm-hmm. And so all this I bring up because I have been trying to drink the appropriate amount of water to build muscle, and it is far too much. I've been to the bathroom. I know bathrooms now. Like I think I know. I think I know handles in a way I never noticed handles before. Like, I'm running to so many bathrooms so consistently that I'm really starting to notice things about bath. I used to be an in and out guy, and now it's a while that I'm standing there, and I'm clearly very hydrated.
Yeah.
And I feel great. I've been sleeping better. It's like, it's the catch-22. It's literally like if someone gave you a superpower, but you had to go to the bathroom all the time. Like if Superman had to pee every 20 minutes.
I mean, to continue growing the mythos we've built the last couple episodes, I think this is the downside to being the Josh Ice superhero. It's because with all that ice power comes so much moisture.
Yeah,
you just
have to pee all the time.
Because I bet Iceman was pissing all the time.
Dude,
that guy was probably pissing all the time. He's made of water.
My body's like, already I can feel myself feeling a bit better throughout the day, less fatigue, my sleep is great. All these great things are happening, but I have to pee so much that it's almost not worth it. I'm almost like, let me feel like trash again just to not be in a bathroom for half an hour. No, not half an hour. I mean, a half an hour go by without needing to go to the bathroom.
I know what you mean. Yeah, I know what you mean.
But it's caused okay. I know that this has happened to many people. I am not special in this way, but this is the most recent time that it's happened, right?
I'm not the first man to have to piss.
Yeah. Not even the
many
third.
Before me.
And so I was at a show, and the line got very long because there was a person in the bathroom that clearly needed it. Like as impatient as I get waiting for the bathroom sometimes, I never want someone to come out early. Please don't do that. You be in there as long as you need to be in there, because it was way worse for everybody if you come out too early than you stay in there a little long, you know?
Okay. What do you mean is happening if they come out early?
I'm just saying, like, you
pants still down?
I'm saying
they didn't even finish.
There are people in life, we've all been to junior high, we've all been in situations where someone is more embarrassed than they let their logic take over, right? So the embarrassment trumps the logic, and they're like, "Oh yeah, let me hurry up, blah blah blah." And so then, like they'll like come out of the bathroom, and the best example I've seen of it is when this guy rushed out of the bathroom because somebody was banging on the door, and you could see a little drip drip dribble on his pants, and it's like, yeah, because my man wasn't done. He got bullied into trying to force his body to be done, and that's not how bodies work. And so anyway, I'm in line for the bathroom. There's 2 bathrooms. One line is getting incredibly long because someone in there is clearly having a time. Like a true struggle. Okay,
an emergency in public.
We don't hear anything, but because we don't hear anything, it's almost worse. All right. He might be dead. Okay.
It's too quiet for something normal to be happening in there.
No, it's far too quiet. So then,
I know exactly what you mean.
Then, like, because you know what?
Where you start being like, is someone in there, or we have just not checked the door fully? Is it just a heavy door?
Yeah. You know when when it's so quiet. Do you know when it's so quiet that it makes the space around it quiet? Like it's so quiet in that bathroom.
That loud silence.
Yeah, it's so quiet in the bathroom that as you get close to the bathroom, you literally just start not hearing anything. Like you have to go hello out loud just to make sure you are still with us, Like a car didn't fly through a window like Spider-Man 2 and you're in purgatory now and this is the line, Anyway, I'm in one of the lines. The other line's not moving. So some people start jumping over to my line, okay? And everyone is like varying degrees of needing to go. I have to go in a fairly modest way, Like I'm like, let me be responsible. I'm trying to be an adult about it because I know I'll have to go badly in 5 minutes, right? So let me just -5. What?
I took a drink right as you said in a modest way, and that wording just...
Yeah.
It made me laugh. I had to hold the liquid in my mouth.
Yeah, I'm not desperate, I'm not like, those people who...
I don't need it, okay?
Yeah, those people that don't plan well, and so it's like them having to go to the bathroom is like them being late on their rent, and they're like, I don't know what I'm going to do. It's like, well, you've had options all day, all right? If you had paid attention and planned ahead, you'd be fine right now, all right? So anyway... Some people are starting to jump into my line, and I'm not even near the front, okay? And every single person in this line is like, they're obviously also all varying degrees of needing to go, right? We are a rainbow of...
piss.
Yellow, yeah. And
50 Shades of Yellow. Here we go.
Yeah.
Ready?
And so basically, I am right now. I'm chilling, right? Like I'm noticing things. I'm also trying to make an effort to be on my phone a little less. So I'm like looking around and like being nosy, overhearing conversations, stuff like that. And then and then I'm noticing how when I look behind me, there are people that are doing the thing where they're looking like they're sticking their head out the line. You know what I'm talking about? There's a line and you wouldn't see anything, and then you see their head like off to the left.
Yeah.
And is getting that, that like I'm about to ask for the manager type vibe some people put out where they try to get people to argue alongside them. So they'll be like, right?
They want to start a revolution at whoever's in the bathroom right now.
Yeah, and they're like, I mean, how long does it take? There was a woman that literally was like, how long does it take? And it's like, it does take as long as it takes. It depends on the time. It depends on the person. You know?
And I'm like you too. I'm a little bit of like, yeah, take your time in there because people got health issues.
Yeah.
We all eat different things, which do different horrible things to our bodies.
Yeah.
Like, listen.
And so
I don't blame you.
And so I'm like, I'm like, man, one of these because she was not stopping. She was like, I mean, how long does it take? Like it's like we all have to go. Yeah, I mean, and I was like, all right.
Where was this at again? Where was this at?
I don't want to say because of what's gonna happen.
Well, I mean, what type of establishment? I guess like restaurant. Was it a?
Oh, it was a club.
What genre? A club.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
And so
that's all I wanted to know because I'm like that also depends too. Like if I'm in like a dive bar at night and there's only like one small bathroom, it's like don't go in there and take a shit. Come on, like just don't. Plan your day around that. Like that's a piss hole is what that is for. Okay, don't go in there and do something like that.
Sure. Yeah. It is funny. Yeah. Okay. Anyway, so then she's not stopping, and it's also loud in there. So it's like the fact that I can hear her means she's being very loud because she's not behind me in line close.
Oh, okay. Okay.
The line is actually getting so long they had to wrap the line almost around the bar.
Oh, geez.
So when I say around the bar, I don't mean alongside it. I mean, literally, there were people who had to stand where the bartender has to walk out.
Okay. Yeah.
Anyway, so then this woman starts banging on the doors, and she's also not next, right? This woman starts banging on the doors, and she's like, "Come on, hurry it up, which is like, they can't though. Like you literally can't. There's no.
You just hear inside someone go, "Oh!"
Yeah, there's no feet of ass.
I'm okay.
Like you can't run.
There's no. That might be my favorite thing you've ever said. There's no feet of ass.
Like someone telling you to hurry doesn't actually change anything in your body.
No. You just improved my week with that phrase. There's no feet of ass. That's my new. I weirdly needed to hear that, Josh. Oh, yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
And like enough time has passed where I'm like actually starting to need to go a bit more, right? Like I got in line at a very responsible time, and now I'm being like actually pushed to my limit. And I'm also not next.
Now it's urgent for you. It's it's becoming urgent now.
The stakes are getting a little high. It's kind of like how it literally is like how politically if someone they've done studies where about like xenophobia and stuff, and they found that if there's very few of a minority or an immigrant or whatever, people are mostly fine. They're like, oh yeah, whatever. Like everyone is usually at least a very modest level of accepting as long as it's just a few, right? And then once a lot
hard turn.
No, I'm saying this is what happens though. This is like a political study. They found that anytime someone is in any situation and then they feel outnumbered by anyone who's considered other, that's when they really start to like, quote unquote, show their true colors, right?
Okay, yes.
And was like when I got in this line, I was the most patient, chill dude, whatever. As I also need to go more, I don't even blame the woman that's banging on the doors now. Like now I'm like, go sis, all right? Go off, queen, okay?
You fight the fight.
You fight the good fight. You get the troops through. And so I'm like kind of in this line slowly getting radicalized of like yeah, what are they doing in there? Because the line hasn't moved.
You've now been in the chat room. You've now been accidentally recruited by ISIS.
Yeah, because now the line has truly
I
not
piss.
moved.
Josh liked that one.
Now the line is like truly not moving, and I'm realizing how far back in line I am. And so now I'm at a point where even if everything is going well and those people come out of the bathroom immediately and everyone else only spends 20 seconds in the bathroom, which is not likely, no one will have washed their hands. I'm either going to pee myself or get COVID. There's no like in between.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And so
either way, your night's about to get worse.
Yeah. And so she's banging on the doors and everything. And then, like I said, this one guy got essentially bullied into getting out of the bathroom, right?
Mm-hmm.
Comes out of the bathroom.
Poor guy. The true hero of this story.
Comes out of the bathroom. Doesn't look great. He's still holding his stomach, right?
He's soaked.
He fell in, okay? Is like holding his stomach and calmly walks to a corner of the club and proceeds to just like how's the best way to put this?
Diarrhea.
No.
No.
The story's not gross. Like just in case anyone's listening and they think eventually there's going to be some gross turn, it's not.
Right. But we have gotten back to our roots with stories of bodily functions. You're right. We
never forgot where we came from. And he goes to the corner.
We started at the bottom and now we're here. Yeah, literally.
And the only way I can describe it is he's so smoothly. He's holding his stomach, and he so smoothly passes out.
Oh.
And I've never seen anything like it before because he didn't like collapse. He didn't fall and slam into the ground or slam his head or anything. He literally just like melted where he was standing, and he was out, right?
Oh, okay. So he probably was in there just drunk then and not...
He's a little drunk, yeah.
Okay.
But...
he got lost in there?
Yeah, right. You can only go in so many circles. And...
He keeps just trying to put his credit card into things. I don't know. I just want to get another one.
And then someone's like, oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. And then they, run over to him, start like tapping his face a little and then like lifting his head up and, checking, make sure he's not like having a seizure or anything like that. And then this dude wakes up. And immediately, as soon as he wakes up very calmly too. He doesn't wake up like startled.
I was hoping for screaming.
No. This dude wakes up very calmly, and he's like, "Who are y'all?" And then they were like, "Are you okay? What's your name? Like you passed out, whatever." And he was kind of like, he's like, this dude, okay, this is like...
This man reset.
He's clearly not trying to be rude, but it is like, I thought this person may have had amnesia because it's not like it was his friends that came to check on. It was just some people who saw him.
Right. People are just being good Samaritans and just checking on him.
Also, the line to pee is where the line of humanity breaks, because as soon as those people stepped out of line they
lose their spot.
Yeah. Yep. The people behind them stepped right up anyway.
Yep.
And so then he's like, who are y'all? And they're like, hey, what's your name? Like you pass out. It's like, oh, I know I passed out. Who are y'all? And they're like, oh yeah, they start introducing themselves and everything. And they're like, can you stand up? He's like, ah.
Listen, we just met. Don't start telling me what to do.
Yeah. They help him up. They call an ambulance, and then they ask him if he was like on a medication or like was it? And he's like, oh, I was in the bathroom. I had some like real bad stomach pain, and somebody just kept banging on the door. So I was like, fine. Like, you need it that bad. Clearly, you need it worse than me. Like, this dude's like very like chill about the whole thing.
Okay.
And then line starts moving a bit. So now I'm like, okay, I'm like being nosy, but at the same time, I'm like getting, a couple.
You got to eye on the prize.
Yeah,
man.
a couple steps ahead in line, because now I'm like legs crossed. Now I'm trying to tie the hose off at the end. Okay.
Yeah.
Because honestly, I will say it would have really taken the heat off me if I had pissed my pants and that dude was just standing there passed all the way out. Like, no one's checking for my pants after that, And so, we're getting a little closer.
or he just wakes up and he's like, that guy pissed.
That guy doesn't seem well. And
who are you and what's he doing?
Yeah. And so I finally get in the bathroom, go to the bathroom, and come out. And when I come out, that guy is gone. Like, the people who were talking to him are still there, but the guy's gone. And there's only one line for the bathroom. So now they've put him back in the bathroom, and they've told other people, like, hey, there's no, like just use the other line, right?
Right.
And luckily, because we're actually using this bathroom, the line is long, but it's not in huge. And then the EMTs come, because they called I guess someone called an ambulance as soon as he fell. And so the EMTs come.
Oh, so he fell. Okay.
No, so what I meant when I said he perfectly melted was that he was standing, and then he just sort of sat down on his, like, he sort of like slid down the wall and was sitting there. Like, he melted. It's like the smoothest passing out I've ever seen, because his back was against the wall, and then he slid down on his back until he was sitting on the ground.
I thought I had missed you saying like he had fallen after that, like after you got out of the bathroom, then he fell. I thought I missed something.
No.
Okay.
So this
puddle of a man is.
So now he's back in the bathroom, and the EMTs come. And when the EMTs get there, they're knocking on the door, and he's like, hey, can you give me a minute?
Yeah.
All right. And
he's just got to go, man.
Yeah. And then it's locked. And so at first I thought he locked the bathroom. Like, I'm like, oh no, well, if he passes out again, now it's locked or whatever, right?
Right.
But then it turns out one of his friends was in there with him, I guess, like making sure he didn't pass out again or whatever. And then finally she comes out, and then they're like, oh, we're here to check on him. Somebody call, whatever. And then she's like, oh, I think he's fine. I think it's blah, blah. And in my head, I'm like, all right, y'all live your life, but there's no way this person is fine,
Yeah.
And so
they at least need to sit down and drink some water.
Yeah.
At the very least.
And so I think he's a bit embarrassed too, because I was even talking to some friends when this happened, and as he was coming out, they were looking, and I was like, the best thing we can do is not look over there. Like, y'all just continue our conversation. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so then he comes out of the bathroom. He goes up there with the EMTs, like leaves the club.
I'd have looked. I wouldn't listen to your friends.
Comes back and comes back, walks up to the bartender, and he's like, hey, the EMTs cleared me. So can I get some ice chips? And he was like, yeah. And he just sat at the bar and chilled.
I was hoping he's going to be like, the EMT cleared me. Give me a daiquiri. Like, I was hoping it's gonna...
No. I don't even think they would have served him if the EMTs told them to get him a drink.
This man needs Grey Goose stat.
Yeah. So, yeah. I've noticed that now my attitudes towards bathrooms, people in them when I'm not in them, all this stuff like that is slowly changing. Because I've stayed hydrated. I haven't even reached the goal amount of water on any of these days. I've been doing this since Sunday, and I have not reached on a single day, I haven't been able to drink enough.
Well, you're still training. You're still practicing.
I
You can't
don't know
expect to be
how
great
this is
at it
going to
immediately.
happen. Dude, it's so much. It's like a gallon.
Yeah.
Ooh. And you see those dudes in the gym with those gallon jugs. I'm just like, how? How is he pounding all that water and eating? Because then you have to eat on top of that.
And eating.
Yeah.
Yeah, these are all things that keep you alive. Yeah.
But you know what I mean, though. It's like,
No, I know.
if you've
I know what you mean.
pounded
I know what you
half a
mean.
gallon of water first,
Right. Yes. Yeah.
and now someone's like, go have breakfast.
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna be like, I don't even think I can hit the bacon. Like, the bacon's the lightest thing on the plate.
Yeah. I'm here for the smells.
Yeah.
So now, so now you're trying this new thing, and your view on bathrooms is changing. I feel like a theme we've had lately in our episodes, you seem to be in kind of transitional period in life.
I guess so. I think that's fair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're trying to have a stronger bladder.
No, just
and
like
ice powers.
dude,
No.
I mean, as far as the men in my family go, we're not living long.
Right, yeah.
So I'm just trying to get ahead of a bunch of stuff.
Okay. Okay. Are we feeling our mortality a little bit lately?
I mean, I'm gonna live forever. It's not that serious. But it's
What a weird thing to say right after the men in your family don't do great. And then to be like, I'm going to what I got whiplash from that transition you just did. Listen, we tend to die young. I, however, am immortal.
Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Yes. Just generally yes at that, huh?
Yeah, no, I feel pretty good. I want to get a little bit more consistent with the workouts, but I feel like I've been eating really well.
Mm-hmm. Big yawn, well rested.
I've been eating really well, and then I've been more alert. So get ready for me to notice everything. Like, if noticing stuff is what you like about this podcast, get ready for me to hit you with every detail.
The iTunes reviews, 5 stars. These guys notice so much.
Yeah.
This is my favorite, most observant podcast.
Mm-hmm.
5,000 out of 10 jangles.
Mm-hmm.
I love observations.
Yeah.
5 stars.
Also, it is very hard. Now that this is another thing that's happened in the last few days. Now, if I'm late, I just let myself be late because I cannot run with a stomach full of water.
Get that.
I can hear it sloshing.
Yep.
Yeah. It's just, I'm it's like a fishbowl in my belly.
Right.
And I can't, after like 4 steps, I'm like, oof, it's too much movement.
So you're more consistently hydrated and running behind.
Well, I'm saying if I'm late.
Right.
I'm making a point to not be late, but.
Right. Okay. Fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough. So I think this is a good change. It's hard to tell right now.
Yeah, it could be. I don't know.
It seems to be making you not feel great.
I feel good unless I try to run out of panic.
Oh, okay.
That's the only time I don't feel good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Being hydrated is the best.
Okay. Well, and it's unfortunate then because you're going to be hydrated, so you're going to feel better physically, but too full to run away from something.
Well, no, I think if something
never know when
came
you're gonna
at
get
me,
chased.
I think I'd just be more accepting.
Of the thing coming at you?
Yeah. Why? What's all this running about?
So, okay, let's say wild animal.
Yeah.
You have a cougar sprinting right at you.
Okay.
But when you're this hydrated,
Yeah.
you're like, listen,
I'm
we're
like,
all God's
hey.
creatures.
I'm glad that a cougar made it all the way in New York City. Are you
Yeah.
serious?
And it is about to get some juicy meat right now.
That cougar really living life.
Yeah. Every cougar should visit New York at least once.
At least once, just to taste it.
Okay. Well, you're the first person I've known who's tried to be more hydrated, and it's weirdly made you accept death more. That's that's a weird.
I mean, when you think about how much water we need to drink just to stay alive. Oof.
What's the point of living?
No, not what's the point of living. Just like, oh, okay, every person is kind of a lot. Like if everyone drank enough water, it'd be like, guys, what are we gonna do here? We're lucky so many people love Mountain Dew. Like,
I don't know, man. Hydrated Josh is kind of a downer.
well, I'm not being a downer, I don't think. I'm not saying I don't want these people around. I'm just saying like, oh wow, this is a lot. Like you realize how much space you take up when you're getting all your ounces in. Like by the end of if I keep this up by the end of the year, I will have drank a creek.
Oh God. All right. This is an interesting new phase of Josh we're entering. I'm enjoying it. I'm liking it.
Oh, okay.
I'm liking the man who's taking better care of himself, but also just being more over people.
No,
I'm enjoying this.
I enjoy people. No, I do enjoy people. I think people
Our
are
last
great.
several episodes have been about you not really having patience for people anymore.
It's not a whole people thing. It's like the people in the story I don't have patience for.
I'm just saying I'm enjoying curmudgeonly moisturized Josh. I'm enjoying old wet Josh. I'm a big fan of. He's not even looking at me for that one. He's looking down. He doesn't even want to meet my gaze.
Yeah. Yeah, you got it right. Yeah, you're saying true things.
Oh, okay. Yeah, see, he's over me too.
Not over. I don't know what
Right,
this over thing is.
I'm getting to know the new Josh.
It's not new. It's just with water.
No, but I'm not saying just this. I'm saying we've had a little arc going these last few episodes where you're having shifts in attitude and perspective. And I'm not saying it's bad. It's just like it's like I'm getting to learn new things about you, which I enjoy. We've been friends for a very long time.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm getting to know a newer, slightly grumpier but well-hydrated version. What's wrong with that?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think there's anything wrong with that. How much water do you drink?
I didn't say there wasn't. Huh?
How much water do you drink?
All right, don't come at me now.
No, I'm not coming at you. I'm saying if you had to guess, because I was apparently when you take into account what I'm drinking now, I was drinking none before. I think I had my first sip of water on Sunday in life, according to charts for how much water I should have been drinking this whole time.
If I check the water charts, I am way off.
If I check the water chart, I'm 4 years old. Okay.
Yeah, there's dog years and there's water years. Mm-hmm. In water years, I'm a baby. I don't know. I feel like I have days where I do a really good job of staying hydrated, and then days where I know I do really, really bad. Like, I know you're not a coffee guy, but when you take that like late morning piss and it smells exactly like coffee, you know you need to drink some water. You know that's an issue.
Yeah, see, I'm not a coffee guy at all. Like, yeah. I don't know if I'll ever drink coffee.
That's a signifier when you do that and you'd be like, Logan needs some water because I just pissed Folgers. So
I remember one time.
Sorry for talking about piss so much, everybody.
I remember one time. In college, there was this kid in my suite. I think it was freshman year.
Ooh, you're sweet. Ooh la la.
It's not a. We only call it a suite because they call it a suite. Right. And we all shared.
Wrong.
Yeah, we all shared a bathroom. And there was this one time this kid went in and forgot to flush. And then someone went in after him, and they were like, oh my gosh, said his name, and he was running back because he realized he forgot to flush, and he was like, oh, I'm so sorry, that's so gross and everything. And the guy was like, no, I'm worried about, are you sick?
The water's green. Are you okay?
Are you are you doing one of those things where you let them experiment on you for $1,500? Cause
yeah. Dude, you hard up for money?
If not, you need to go to a hospital now.
Yeah. I don't know why the water in the toilet's fuchsia right now. I don't know if you're okay.
Take a cup of this as a sample because, sir, you dead. Okay. That's my favorite. We used to do that all the time. Anytime somebody
used to do what?
We used to do a thing if anyone seemed sick or if anyone did a thing that was like a little bit gross, like but it would be to them like, oh, you dead.
Okay, I didn't. I thought you were gonna be like, we used to give them cups of their own urine to take as a sample. That's why I went.
Never answered the question.
What question?
How much water do you think you drink?
No, I did. I couldn't give you like an estimation. I feel like some days I feel like I'm pounding water, especially if I'm out doing stuff or if I'm working or whatever, like especially if I'm subbing or whatever. I feel like I'm drinking water all day. I know when I have days where I'm at home just like working on stuff, like on the computer, like editing the show and stuff like that. That's where I know I don't always do great. I couldn't tell you amounts, but well, I'm sure on my bad days it's probably shockingly low.
Well, I'm starting a water club. Okay,
the Josh Johnson Water Club.
Yeah.
Okay, let's talk about it. I'll join. I'll get in the water club. Let's do this. Let's both get better at being hydrated. I will join you in this journey.
Okay, so the first thing that we do is we all wear white robes. Okay.
Wow, starting off culty, you're not even hiding it.
Yeah, but
usually the cult stuff is once you get to like step 4 or 5, they sneak it in there. You are starting right away. This is my club. Anyway, we all wear robes.
We all buy
I get
the
to have
same
sex with
sneakers.
Everyone's wives.
Okay,
we all get the same sneakers.
And
we worship a toilet.
First of all, how dare you? Okay. It's not a toilet. It's a porcelain lord. All right.
It is a throne. Yeah. It is our king of kings.
I just think it would be cool to start a little club. Maybe people pay some dues. Like throw in like $50 a week, and
God, you can't help it. You can't help but turn this into a cult. I keep being like, yes, let's start the club, and the next thing you say is immediately a cult or scam.
Yeah,
immediately.
No, it's not. There's no scam here. The $50 goes towards your robe. All right.
Okay, so now we've just started a robe company.
Yeah.
This is someone starting a cult because they got a lot of robes they got to get rid of. Listen, I got left. My business shut down. I got boxes of robes. What can we do? Oh, I know. Worship a lizard. Let's do it.
Yeah. That's my favorite thing about when you start
the backdoor cult.
When you start karate or something, how there's so much gear that they try to hawk on you immediately.
Immediately you got to buy, yeah.
And it's so funny because someone will end up spending like $600, and I can't remember who it was. There was a guy. Maybe it was when I was at the grocery store. It was in Chicago, and he was telling me about how he had started karate, and he really was built like Dwight from The Office. So every time I see Dwight from The Office do karate, it makes me think of that dude because they built exactly the same. And he decided to take on karate very late in life. Okay. This dude took on the punching one late in life. Like jujitsu makes sense at any time because it's not about like it's barely even about strength. It's more about leverage, right?
Right.
And so it was made for people who weren't strong. So that one makes sense to me. But karate is like you're not even nimble. You're just gonna be kicking shins.
So, hey, sometimes that'll get you out of a situation.
A
good shin kick.
Have you ever kicked someone?
Yeah.
Like you've kicked someone to hurt them?
No, I guess like not in like a real. I mean, I probably did when I was a kid, but you know, because when you're a kid, man, kicking's that's just communicating.
Dude, kicking hurts so much. It hurts so much that I think if he had kicked someone in the shin, I don't think he'd be able to run away. I think they both limp in the same direction.
Well, yeah, that's like when you see certain like fights, like UFC fights or whatever, and someone will just kick someone in the leg, and that's supposed to be just like I'm just kicking you in the leg, and everyone seems fine with it. But I'm like, that looked like a reason I would quit the fight.
Can I tell you? I don't.
Just like,
I
no,
remember,
I'm done. He kicked me very hard. We're done. Towel.
I don't remember what fight card it was, but when I tell you, there's a moment of that exact thing happening where this guy kicked another dude in the shin, right? Mm-hmm. And then took a step back to like, you know, make another move, kick him again, whatever. This guy that got kicked to the shin spun around like a ballerina and then landed on his back, and the fight was over. This dude got kicked, fully spun on one foot.
Spun from the bottom too. That's a hard spin.
Spun on the ball of his other foot, and then went down, and then the fight was over. And I was like, that checks out for me. That does.
Did he just drop and he was just like, no? Or did he get kicked in the shin so hard he passed out?
No, the ref was like, clearly this person is done. Anyone who spins after they get hit, I think the fight is over. Whether it's a punch or a kick, even if it's a pluck, if you spin, I think you're done.
It's like in certain video games where you can tell you've killed an enemy when they finally like do like a ragdoll animation. You know, they just go like burp and fall over. It's that in real life too. If they ragdoll, it's over.
Dude, well, that spin was tight. That wasn't a ragdoll. This man spun like he was born to do it.
He got kicked so hard he became a dancer.
Dude, this dude spun like he left his dancing shoes at home. Like he spun like he was good at it. And I don't know. Yeah, that for me, kicking is oof. But anyway, this dude started taking karate classes, and he couldn't go.
Wait, which dude?
The guy built like Dwight. The guy that.
Okay.
When I was in Chicago,
we had a little detour about kicks. I forgot who we were talking about. Yes,
and so
I'm back.
So then he said, and I'll never forget this. He was like, you know, this whole thing, I was never gonna make fun of him because I liked him and because I understand his willingness to do it.
And this means Josh is about to make fun of him.
But basically, he was telling me. Oh, that's what it was. Yes, it was at the grocery store. It was at the grocery store. This is because I remember this whole thing happening and me just wanting to walk away from the situation because he was talking to me because I was cleaning up for the night, right? Like we're closed and I'm cleaning and they stay to make sure we don't get robbed, whatever, right? So anyway, he's telling me all this stuff while I'm cleaning. So I've already like got a lot to do and he just walking around talking to me. And then this dude is like, yeah, so I started taking karate classes because I got mugged and it perked up my, like, now I'm paying attention. I was like, oh, I'm so sorry. And he was like, nah, it was 4 years ago. And I was like, okay, a little late to. And like I said, he already not built well, okay? So then
for 4 years later to finally be like, wait, I could have.
Yeah, wait, I could have hurt myself a different way.
Yeah.
And so then he goes, they have him buy pads, they have him buy gi, they have him buy his belt, they have him buy these like I can't remember what it was, but he also bought the like practice weapons you would use, which are really just novelty things. So he bought like nunchucks and he bought like, but this is all stuff that's like never going to be used in life.
Look at someone being judgmental about someone buying nunchucks.
But
got
I
weirdly
know,
judgmental all of a sudden. Oh, something you'll never use in life. Interesting.
I know. Okay. Anyway, so then basically,
yeah, move past it.
Basically, this dude is like telling me about this. A couple weeks later, he's on the same shift and I'm cleaning up again. And I asked him how his karate's going, and he's like, I haven't been able to go because of my schedule. So I basically like gave them all this money, and they haven't taught me anything yet, and they were hawking it all on me and stuff. And like, I basically just got robbed without them ever laying a hand on me. I lost more when I got mugged. So I guess when he got mugged, it was like $300 in his wallet. And when he when he started karate classes, it was $600.
Right. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah. He mugged himself now.
Hey, I know I never do this.
Sure.
But would you want to open up the mailbag?
Oh, damn, hard shift. Sure. Let me get it. I was about to do that. Yeah. We did get several emails about people's sequels to our Porta Potty serial killer movie.
Look,
I think we should save them.
We should save them, but it's coming.
Well, here's what I'm thinking. Next week, you and I will be together in Minneapolis, and I think that will be a great time for us to go through those. So that one of our next episodes will be us combing through the sequels. I haven't really looked at them yet either, but I'm excited to get in there because we've gotten quite a few from people. Let me find. Well, okay, here is one from our friend Sierra, who has come out to live shows and stuff too. But this one is a philosophical query.
Okay.
That's the title of it. Hello, my funnies. Been getting really into philosophy, and I wanted to ask you both. What is a better feeling? A continuous feeling of being content or a relief from pain? I feel like a relief from pain is the greatest feeling in the world, which is why comedy is my favorite art form. Parentheses, fighting it out with music. A good laugh when you're feeling shitty is the best feeling. Go as deep as you want with this question, not trying to bring up any trauma. Love you guys so much, Sierra. P.S. Logan, I was 100% serious when I said when you guys were in Philly that you're fucking hilarious and the world needs your stand-up. Don't deprive us. Oh, thank you. That was a very polite way to demand clips. That was a very
get on.
That was a very
Run
that was
me
the
my
sweetest way
jokes.
to say, hey, would you fucking put out a clip, Logan?
All right.
Good Lord.
Ain't nobody
That was a very
playing
sweet
with
way
you.
of doing that.
Okay.
No, that's what I need. That's the push I needed, Sierra. It was a good little neg.
Yeah.
Is what I needed.
Go ahead and rob this dude of jokes, okay?
So, what do you think about that? This is an interesting question. A continuous feeling of being content or a relief from pain?
For me, it's a continuous feeling of being content, but I think that for the people who come to the show and enjoy the comedy, it's a relief from pain, if that makes sense. Because I think if it's a relief from pain and you're a comedian, life is much harder on you. Because you can't always be doing comedy, and because sometimes your comedy brain isn't working in a way that you feel fulfilled with what you're writing and saying and talking about. And then if it is the other way around, where it's like you are content with what you're doing and it's what helps you consistently stay content, that sounds more like what artists live like.
Well, but see, I don't think it's just asking it as just an artist queer. I think just generally of even outside of comedy, which is better, just like because when I first read the question, at first I was like, oh well, a continuous feeling of content. Like when you think about having like a good day where just nothing feels wrong, those are good. But then I also think about like when I'm having like a really, really bad day or really, really dark period, and then something makes me laugh until I cry. Like that high is almost unmatchable. You know what I mean? You almost can't compare anything else to that feeling of when you were at like a really, really low, dark point and then something tickled your brain so perfectly. So I know I brought it back to comedy anyway, but so I'm kind of torn a little bit.
Yeah. No, I'm with you. I think that for me, since that's the scope that I do everything through, that's why my answer was my answer.
No, I know.
Because like
I think you were right with that too.
Yeah, I think I that's how I see it. Because you'll also find people who comedy doesn't do it for, in the way of like I'm willing
Something
to go
else.
to a show a bunch of times,
Right, yeah. Well, I think a continuous feeling of contentment would make for a very good life, would make for a good, happy life. But those peaks amongst the valleys are really, really great.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's one of those things too of like you don't notice a negative. Like you don't notice like, oh, I don't have back pain right now. You don't notice that. But when you have back pain and then you suddenly don't, shit.
Yeah.
That's like doing heroin. You know what I mean? So it's like this is a great question because it's kind of a chicken and egg situation a little bit.
It is. It is very much.
Because to find like true contentment, you almost have to go through shit first. So if you're just totally content, will you become numbed by it? If you're so hydrated, will you forget what it was like to not have to piss all the time?
Maybe.
Were you happier? Were you happier being... I mean, honestly, this is actually perfectly on theme. Didn't even mean to. But in the beginning, you talked about it was almost better not being hydrated because you weren't running to the bathroom constantly.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean...
Big question. I think it's a big question.
I feel like I'm happier now. And I'm at least more aware now because I'm not tired from being dehydrated.
Right. Fair.
Thanks so much for listening to the Josh Johnson Show. Thank you so much for writing in and asking us this question. We're probably going to bring it up again because this is a lot to think about. And it was, I'm still thinking about it in a way, but I don't have anything new to say. I'm so thankful for everyone for listening. We had a great time recording. I hope you had a great time listening. If you are looking to catch up with us on any of the socials, you can find me at Josh Johnson Comedy on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. We're going to be posting clips of the show. And if you're looking for Logan...
My internet went patchy for a second, so I missed the end of that last part, but I heard you toss it to me. You can follow me on Instagram at Logan M. Nielsen. And if you want to get in the mailbag to either send us your spec scripts or your philosophical queries, you can send those to joshjohnsonshow@gmail.com. You can also leave us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts. Not only will we read them, but we greatly appreciate it, and it really helps us on that platform. And if you want some other nonsense from us, these weekly episodes just aren't enough, and you think, man, I really would like more of these guys' great observations because that's what I come here for. You can go to our Patreon, patreon.com/Josh Johnson Show. We have a bunch of shit there. And next week, Josh and I will be performing at Acme Comedy Club in Minneapolis, Minnesota, November 17th through 19th. I believe 5 shows total. I'm really looking forward to it. I think it's going to be fun. And if you're in the area, you should come out, see the show, say hi to us afterwards. We love meeting all of y'all.
Thank you so much for listening, and y'all have a great rest of the week into the weekend. Hey, thanks so much for watching. Please like and subscribe. It really supports the channel. Hit the bell notification because apparently it's the only way YouTube will tell you that something happened. And just tell a friend. That's the biggest thing you could do. Just tell one person in your life that you like, maybe you don't like, that this video happened to you.
We release the podcast every Thursday on all the podcast apps, so you should find us there and subscribe on those and comment and leave reviews and whatever on all of them. And also, if you want bonus stuff, you can join our Patreon, patreon.com/Josh Johnson Show. We have bonus podcasts and videos and stuff there, and we'd love to see you